What is going on, Alpha Hunters? Hopefully, you are having a very modest bullish Monday because the market is bullish. So you should be too. Hopefully, your day is having sunshine and rainbows. A little bit of a gap up here on the SPY. Nothing crazy. But the price action after that has been very, very strong. This has been definitely the best bullishness that we've seen so far in 2024. About time we got there. So it's just been kind of slowly grinding all day. It's been very nice. Here's a look at the 15 going all the way back to last week, looking pretty good there. If you notice, well, with today's bullishness, well, currently, we've gotten all the way to where we opened the year. Dang. Yep, good amount of bullishness coming in. So, all right. I guess the question now comes was that a buying opportunity that we saw at the end of last week, beginning part of today, or is this just a counter trend rally for what we started last week? I mean, that's going to remain to be seen. The one thing I would say is I'd be much more willing to play this bullish now. Be looking for a pullback probably into these highs that we had late last week, maybe around the 470 and a half area. Under 471, something like that. But you're going to have a very clear stop loss below Friday, right? It's pretty simple. Nothing crazy. But that's the way I would probably be looking to play this. And here's the other thing, is if we do break Friday's low with the strong bullish bounce that we've seen today, you're probably just going to go bearish. So it's always great when you finally see, the trend that has been going for a few days, and then you see in kind of reverse. Now you can kind of set some price levels, and that's the way I would look to play it. All right, that's the kind of spy. So this is what it looks like on the daily. Obviously, you can see very nice, strong bounce, the best bullish activity we've seen so far this year, and 24. So take a look at that VIX. VIX has dropped off Monday. It opens higher almost every Monday. Pretty much every Monday. And there you go. It's just continued to fade down the entire day. Makes sense. Gotten down recently to the lows that it was putting in there on Friday. Probably continue to trade lower. Even if the market does roll over into the close today, here in the last 2 hours, I would imagine the VIX, as long as it's not like a crazy reversal on the market, which I don't expect that, the VIX will probably continue just to trade lower. And there you go. DXY, the dollar index, still just kind of hanging out, trying to roll over. What does it look like? So yeah, tried to roll over this morning, past hour and a half or so. Looks like it's been bouncing pretty good off that 10 EMA. So yeah, still hasn't broken that huge doji that we put in on Friday. So right now, still just wait and see on the DXY. GLD, very nice. Nice lower. Wow. Okay. Wouldn't have thought we'd see that. Nice gap down here on the GLD. Obviously, gold then is probably down. Take a look at the gold futures real quick. So yeah, gold futures are down. Okay. All right. Well, that's interesting. Kind of would have thought that. I would still be willing to be more bullish on any dips. And that's kind of the way I look at it. All right. 10-year yield. Nice higher open, right? Higher open, and it has pulled all the way down. Okay. Basically, at the same time this morning when the DXY and the dollar was dropping off, so was the yields. So, okay. Still really hasn't broken. Like it's going to roll over quite yet. Nice little higher open today. Kind of just pulls back. Maybe it's starting to bounce now. So, hasn't gotten below the Friday's low. Maybe it kind of just sideways consolidates here, kind of like the dollar going forward here for the next couple days. All right, moving on. 10 and 2 inversion. 10 and 2 inversion actually did get above that little wick that we did put in early last week on Tuesday. It is coming down. Okay, so check the 2-year yields. So yeah, 2-year yields dropped off. Not as much as the 10-year, kind of just hanging out a little bit lower today. Kind of looks like we have a huge Morningstar reversal pattern here as the moving averages are coming down. So that'd be interesting. Check that over the next couple of days. Yeah, I'll just keep an eye on that one. HYG, yields are down, bonds should be up. Bonds are up. HYG bouncing pretty good there. LQD bouncing pretty good. Not getting over that 10 EMA yet. TLT bouncing a little bit, getting back up into that 20-10 EMA area. Okay. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy yet, that is. Take a look. Sector performance, sector rotation. See what's moving today. I know tech is going to be a high flyer. A lot of people looked at how much tech sold off last week and like, oh yeah, this is the best time ever to buy tech. Don't forget, we are going to, actually we've basically kind of started earnings season, but we're going to be really getting into it this coming Friday. We're going to have financials reporting. So be very mindful that earnings season is rapidly approaching. Yeah, tech, biggest outperformer on the day. You can see the Q's up 1.66%. XLK looking pretty good there. Discretionaries also outperforming. Communications outperforming. Real estate also outperforming. Underperforming sectors on the day. Staples, healthcare, utilities, industrials, financials, materials, and then energies. Big underperformer there. Energies didn't do that bad last week. Take a look at crude oil here in a sec. Taking out the gap. Yep, tech still doing pretty good. Very much got bought up on the open today. Looking pretty strong there. Real estate's looking pretty good. Discretionaries kind of climbed back here over the past couple hours. Be positive on the intraday. Communications, utilities, all underperforming, as well as industrials, materials, staples, healthcare, financials, energies. So taking out that gap, energies actually kind of climbed back here. You can see energies got hit right on the open with the gap down, and they flushed out a little bit there. But climbing back, at least not as big of a disparaging gap on performance if you take on consideration on the open. All right, so let's just run through how these guys are looking. So the RSP is going to be underperforming today. Nothing crazy. Be curious to see how we set up on some of these markets. You know, are we going to set up some shoulder, neckline, head, neckline, shoulder type actions, and then maybe we do something like that. Be interesting to see if we do that there on the RSP. The Dow Jones Industrial Average, the DIA, actually gapped down pretty good today. UNH. Did UNH? Well, UNH is trading down. That's the largest weighting on the Dow Jones, so okay. Dow Jones still just holding pretty good. I mean, it's basically flat. That might be getting helped a lot from Microsoft and Alphabet. Obviously, with tech running pretty strong today. Okay. IWM, one that got smacked over the past week and a half. Yeah, I mean, getting below this little consolidation area. Obviously, now this is going to basically turn into a resistance kind of zone. And it's kind of where the 10 EMA is also. And we're kind of getting into that area now. So I mean, I could see a couple different ways you could possibly play this. I mean, you could definitely play. Let me get the brush. I mean, you could play a bullish dip into this level, like where the Thursday, Fridays wicks were. Jesus, that was awful. I'll just do this. Wherever the Thursday, Friday wicks were, right? You can just play a bullish there, or you could say, hey, you know what? I'm down to actually play this bearish. As it kind of comes into this zone of that 10 EMA, kind of where this cluster was back in mid-December. and maybe you put a stop above this wick, or maybe above this red candle, something like that, and or maybe you just say, you know what, cool, I'm going to see how this sets up to see how high it gets, and I'll play the bearish play on the breakdown of our recent lows of today and Friday. So yeah, I mean, there's a couple different ways. Obviously, if you're going to play this bullish, we very clearly have a stop, right? You have a stop below, Friday or Monday's lows, and they, break that on basically any one of these, they're probably just going lower. Qs, look at the gap up on the Qs. Yep. So big tech got bought up this morning after getting sold off pretty good last week. Same thing on the Qs though. I mean, if it comes down and breaks that Friday low, we're going lower. The really kind of the main cause for pause here is you definitely did not get into a pretty good support or resistance zone. You kind of just did it in no man's land. And I don't like doing that because typically when you come back down, you get enough people that move their stop losses, right? They move their stop losses up above, or just below the most recent pivot, which would be Friday's low. And then if all those stop losses get hit, then you're going to go right through this kind of support and resistance zone where we got some tops here. So then you're going to go look for maybe the next major one. There might be enough buyers in between the tops that we had in November, July, also the 50 EMA. If we do reverse on the Qs, that remains to be seen. But you gotta like the bounce action today. It's almost like everybody was like, okay, hold on, we don't want to sell everything at once. We do want to buy some stuff. And people woke up today and took the opportunity to buy some stuff. All right. SPY, same kind of deal. I mean, the fact that it broke, some consolidation areas back from mid-December, a lot of these, a lot of the major indices did. I mean, just if you just get back below those Thursday, Friday, or Monday lows, it's going to be kind of brutal. So it'd be curious to see how kind of far we run here. Maybe as we continue today, or as it maybe even spills over to tomorrow. If we come out anytime soon and start selling off, though, Tuesday or Wednesday, and start getting back below the lows that we just recently put in, yeah, we'll see some selling come in. So, but it made sense to kind of buy at the end of last week. I mean, we sold down pretty good, even looking at the 15, sold down pretty good. Started the week selling, but it kind of just started losing steam as we were selling off. And what was the MACD RSI kind of doing? Yeah, you can see how low the MACD RSI and they got earlier in the week relative to later in the week. So, all right. Take a look at crude oil. Ooh, crude oil getting smashed. Okay, so gasoline dropping off. Well, that's not good. You know what's funny? I saw let me see if I can go to Finance Yahoo and see it. I got some notification that crude oil markets are the best opportunity in 2024. Some person said that, and I was like, okay. The best opportunity? Well, now I know to go bearish, right? Heating oil obviously dropping off as well today, but gasoline's really dropping off. That is not good. If gasoline's dropping off, that is not good. And oil's dropping off even more than gasoline, so it's gonna be kind of a tough one there. So check this out. Initial U.S. And I remember this throughout the years, thinking that, like, I mean, it seemed like every damn month they revised down the initial, whatever the initial jobs report kind of came in at. But check out this headline. Initial U.S. unemployment report overstated by 939,000 jobs. So that was in 2023. So basically what this is saying is the revisions down from the initial reports totaled 439,000 jobs for 2023. That is crazy. Crazy. It's like, can't even trust the data.